Alright, welcome back again. So confession, I went after the Radiance and shot like a 20-minute video of fails, which I might release later as the blooper reel. I'm gonna go again and hopefully just get it this time.
I am here, and I believe in you.
Right.
Maybe that's all you need.
It might be. It also means you can fill in some of the gaps of my concentration phase. Don't worry too much about disrupting me while talking. I'm just gonna try and focus on the fight.
So more fill the gaps of you just hitting buttons so that people are entertained.
Right, as opposed to the other option being me just clicking away at buttons. And
It's true.
that's all they're gonna hear otherwise. I'm still picking up money out of habit more than anything. So,
Yeah, but you're not carrying the swarm with you to make sure that you get everything.
So we're going to the Black Egg. It has already been opened because I did already come this way. Hornet's hanging out outside. She's got some dialogue, but we're gonna skip that. There's a bench.
Is she here to help you, or is she here because she believes in you?
To help. It's one of the things about getting the Voidheart plot item. Hornet will now intervene in this fight, which we scoot on over this way. The first time you're here, there are chains on the Hollow Knight that need to be broken. As I've already attempted it and failed, no chains. The Hollow Knight...
Wow, he only hits for one mask?
Yeah. I'm botching it a little bit, but the Hollow Knight is not actually all that hard to fight. I'm actually standing inside his hitbox, which is super bad. Come on. Bring it. I've watched it like a lot, to be honest, but that's okay. I'll make it. I think we're at the point where this fight is literally just gonna go my way almost no matter what now.
So he kills himself.
Yeah. He does still try to fight. In theory, at this point, it's entirely the Radiance piloting. Oof. I gotta remember that.
So what little was left of him was what was stabbing himself.
Right. Ooh.
You and floor spikes.
Oh, they're the worst. So I'm just dream nailing for soul at this point. Whoa. Oh wow.
Because
in theory, I can make it through there without dying, but in practice, apparently not as easy as I make it sound. This is actually, even in my blooper reel, I didn't die against the Hollow Knight. I'm just waking up here. Give me a minute. I have, however, died several horrible and difficult times against the Radiance, so try this again. Should go better this time. Not getting pinned in a corner will help.
it's weird seeing somebody else using things like nail arts against you.
Oh, you should see the Nailmaster fights. They're great. This would be where you heal, because it's staggered. Normally I'd bring Quick Nail to this fight too. Also, stagger-like. Worth noting that hits against the Hollow Knight at that time are only worth a single point of damage each. It's genuinely considered to not bother. Just stand back, heal if you need to.
Dream Nail if you need to.
Right.
It's weird that when you Dream Nail, there's nothing. There's no mind.
Nope. It's the same as any of the vessels. This I just avoid. I wait it out. You can attack during that. It's similar to Gruz. In my opinion, not worth it. Oh, so I mentioned Hornet intervening. There's two options at this point. One is continue to beat on the Hollow Knight and simply take the Hollow Knight down. The other is Dream Nail.
But what
Hollow
you're doing
Knight.
now is going into him to take out the Radiance.
Right. I healed, and I actually shouldn't have, because you get healed to full for the start of this, and I would have had that extra soul instead. But here we are. It's just a habit. Worth noting that even charms like Joni's Blessing that prevent you from healing, you do get rested to full as if you sat on a bench. Also worth noting that Abyssal Shriek to the face is good. So Radiance has no hitbox in the sense of standing inside of the hitbox and getting touched, but Radiance has all these attacks, and as you can see, multiple can go at once. It's mostly a dodge fight.
No, this is seeming very much like the fight at the end of the original Smash Brothers, where you have to fight the hand. Emissary.
The projectiles can be very hard to dodge.
Because they're very hard to see against his stupid glowy body.
Right. So I'm going to heal for 3 masses here. We're going to go into phase 2, which will lack the floor spikes, thankfully, but is platforming. It's the same fight, minus the floor spikes, plus platforming. Shit. That was pretty much impossible not to take at least 1 mask of damage during. Ooh, that was close. I had to wait for the cooldown on my... There's almost no way to not take some damage there, unfortunately. Oh, shit. Yeah, so this is Radiance. Radiance is difficult.
I see that.
I'm going to try it again. I did not expect to get it in 1 anyway. So once I get through that phase, which I think I was real close, if I'm being honest, once I get through that phase, we're going to move to a 3rd phase, which is simply in Vanilla Radiance, which this is. It's a platforming run. You make it to the top, you hit the Radiance once, you win.
So, are you still able to go directly to the Radiance portion, or do you have to defeat the Hollow Knight again? You have to defeat the Hollow Knight again.
Yeah.
So this is classic multi-stage boss fight.
Yeah. I'm in the corner again. Okay, get out. Are we self-stabbing? No, we're not self-stabbing yet. Oh, that back pedal.
So is it just me, or does the Radiance look remarkably like your father?
The Radiance? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice. I'll look more closely. They're both like god-level beings, so...
Well, he definitely looks like something that that would have been spawned in the White Palace.
I mean, the Hollow Knight here is... it's a sibling.
Yes.
Okay.
It does look like a grown-up version of you.
So, I jokingly say, she says get good there.
Mm.
Get good.
Also possibly get down or
Yeah.
go on.
So yeah, I jokingly, imply she says get good. So those Abyssal Shrieks are, I think, a great way to start this fight if you've got the soul for it. Just focus on dodging, I will advise, over and over again. Oof.
I will also admit that also just all of his attacks look like they come out of the White Palace.
Same kind of, dream being awfulness. Okay, there we go. Through in better shape than we were last time. I probably shouldn't have thrown that last Abyssal Shriek, but I did.
But it felt good.
It did. Ooh. That was a narrow dodge. What are you doing? Oh, okay.
Narrow dodges are the best kind of dodges. Because they're still dodges.
Oh, here we are. Final phase. So we're watching for lasers, and we're platforming.
He's a firing his laser.
Oh, shit. And that sucks too. Not as much as the laser though. Laser hits.
Oh, look at all the
mass.
hollows.
Yeah, right. All the siblings, they're coming for the ride. Ooh, shit. There.
I mean, there couldn't be a more picture-perfect way.
Yeah, take that to the face and bang, get a hit in.
Go, Eldritch Abomination!
Yeah, exactly. We have God versus God fight here, effectively. And that is what a lot of fans consider the true ending of.
Look at all that focus.
Yeah. So much essence. There are two harder to achieve endings that involve going through the Pantheon of Hollow Nest and Godhome. I have not seen either of them I've seen them in other people's videos, but I haven't achieved either of them personally. Of the two harder to achieve endings, one of them is much less satisfying than this, and one of them is more. So.
Oh, Hornet.
She's okay. In the variant where you fight the Hollow Knight rather than going inside its dreams and destroying the Radiance, she is less okay.
But you're dead.
Yep. It's the ending that makes the most sense, though. Like, you've actually stopped the problem. And even the Void is not becoming a new problem all on its own. Which, spoilers, but one of the Godhome endings, that is an issue. Yeah, one of the endings where you fight your way to the Pantheon of Hollow Nest, the Void is the new villain at the end of it, basically.
But here there are no gods, and you have made a way for the tiny creatures that live wherever the hell you are to find a way for themselves in a world without gods or demons.
Right. And
how? I mean, goddamn, that's agnostic.
Right. And it sets up a great intro to where Hornet starts off, going into Silksong, assuming it's a sequel rather than a prequel, because we don't really know for sure yet. But it's implied that it's a sequel.
Well, I mean, sure. Basically, in this ending, what you've set up is that Hornet is the one who carries the wishes and dreams of the Hollow Knight into the future to restore and bring balance, and there are stag beetles to find, and
all kinds of things in other realms as she moves beyond Hollow Nest. So I'm looking forward a lot to playing that in theory next month. The only thing is I'm going to have to play it on my PC because they are not releasing it for the PS4 immediately. They may not ever port it to the PS4 as the PS5 is due out sometime in the foreseeable future.
Foreseeable future is an interesting statement these days.
Yeah, well, yeah. There has been some talk.
I had, all the Marvel stuff in the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm supposed to be watching stuff like Vision and Scarlet Witch right now.
I'm surprised. Wasn't that supposed to be a series anyway?
Yeah. Okay. So's Loki. So's Captain America or Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon, yeah. The Captain America A and B, effectively. Because each has
Team
been
Cap.
Yeah, each has been Cap in a comic. Neither
one is Cap in the MCU right now.
Oh, but did Falcon get the shield?
He got the shield.
Yeah, that's right.
And Bucky's blessing. So he's going to be Captain America. It's just that
they're not calling it that.
Well, it's more that it's pretty obvious that the series is probably going to be about how America doesn't want a black Captain America.
Yeah. So this is like I say, the more satisfying ending of the game. That is pretty achievable. Fighting Radiance is mostly coming down to pay attention. So the 104%. I think I missed some of the Dream bosses or Dream Warriors, which I'll go back and clean up now. They count towards it. That should get me to 107 without touching Godhome. Godhome has another 5% completion in it, I believe. Oh, I know things I missed. Coliseum of Fools? I don't think I did the Fool achievement there, which would be 1% completion. Each of the 3 Coliseum fights is worth 1%. So, if I'm...
I mean, it's bizarre to me to have a game that has more than 100% completion.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to take away completion from the original, so the DLCs don't. Instead of reducing your completion, they just go above 100%. So, you know what I'll do from here is I will go to Godhome, and from there, see what I'm missing. Because it'll actually, well, the Hall of Gods shows you which bosses you have defeated and which ones you haven't. We'll head there. And yeah. Oh, I know for sure I haven't gotten Zote because he's still waiting for me at the Coliseum of Fools. Yeah, Zote, because I beat the Coliseum of Fools before I rescued Zote from Deep Nest. He's at the Coliseum of Fools, and if I go through the very first challenge again, I will free him.
Because he tried to beat the Coliseum of Fools and was a fool in doing so?
You know what? I think he just ended up becoming a competitor there, and basically the trigger for him to get released is you to go beat him up. So, there's that. So we're gonna go,
and of course this is effectively a new game, or not a new game plus, a pre-save. So you could in fact hit 100% completion and go do multiple endings.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could have gotten the bad ending, the super unsatisfying vanilla ending. I could have done that before I went for...
The one where Hornet dies and you live?
No. The vanilla ending is basically you just become the new Hollow Knight.
Oh, you take the Radiance into yourself and start going crazy just the same way?
Yeah, exactly. It's literally just and the story continues.
Well, what it effectively is it's you were not the Chosen One, but you will hold the seal until the Chosen One comes.
Right. Versus the ending, which I just achieved, which is like, okay, it's over. Like, the battle between the Radiance and the Void has ended. Nothing is going to attempt to interfere at this point. You get some finality, and that's what I like about that ending. Okay, yes, the protagonist that we have spent all this time being is unfortunately no more, but
I mean, I understand it perfectly, as you've been hanging out with me playing Kingdom Hearts 3. I'll tell you now, that ends a very similar way.
Yeah, that makes sense considering what I know of Kingdom Hearts, having played the first.
But at the same time, Kingdom Hearts 4 is still likely to have some Sora in it.
Why not?
Oh, Sora never dies.
So on my map here, you'll see it looks pretty complete, right?
Yep.
So there's a section of breakable wall down this way that just down here that I have never bothered with in this playthrough because I didn't really... Wait. Should be right there. No, it's down one more level. Sorry. Like, wait, what? No, it's just that I'm up a level higher than I think I am. Through here, walkable section. Oof. Then up here. gonna heal up. Go this way through the ick.
Is this where you find mimic grubs?
No, I've actually already found all of those.
Dang, I never got to see one.
I mean, you can just watch my initial deep nest video.
Well, I mean, yes. I didn't get to see one and comment on it with you.
That's true. In the Colosseum, there's one. I don't remember which difficulty. I think it's the final one. So I might... No! I mistimed that. But I did get it.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, that's a flucamunga. They're interesting.
It was a maggot, is what it was.
Gigantomaggot.
Everything here, however, is basically maggots, so...
Yeah. Yeah, that would kill it. They hit for 2 masks of damage, so they're one of those enemies that I, prefer to just throw a spell at and kill them that way if I can. Especially because they're really hard to avoid some impact from.
Well, yeah, because they go crazy fast.
Yeah. Burst fast, though. They only go for, like, a short distance. Keep going up. There's another one up here. Oh, and one below me. That's exactly where I want to be. Got that one, and I'm moving on with my life. I don't like to fight them. So Hunter's Journal stuff, like, they'll add up to it if I were to want to fill out the Hunter's Journal and get the Hunter's Mark. Oh, which might be worth a completion percentage, actually. That might be one of the things I'm missing on this playthrough.
Because you definitely did that on your primary playthrough that's at 111.
Yes, I did. I know exactly what the one thing I'm missing on that playthrough is, and it's Pantheon of the Night, which I have yet to defeat.
Because it's balls hard?
It's pretty darn hard. It takes 9 bosses, I would say 3 of which are among the hardest 5 bosses you'll fight in the entire game, and puts them in a boss rush one after another. And you do get 2 minor breaks in there, one of which does let you heal the full. But then at the end of that...
That was creepy.
Yeah. So this is how you get into Godhome. You get the God Tuner item here, and then you walk over and dreamnail this God Seeker character.
Who's dead.
Who is, I would say, in a state of suspended animation. Not in fact.
Dreaming but not dead?
Right. And you get to go into this boss rush hell. Yeah, and get shit talked for coming in. So if I'm correct in which ones I've fought and which ones I haven't, I think the first 2 Pantheons will be unlocked and available for me to fight. The third will not. Because I don't think I've fought God Tamer. So there's 1. There's 2. And I might have not fought Markoth. Oh no, 3. So I'm wrong. I have gone through the whole Colosseum of Fools. The 4th Pantheon is here, which is the Pantheon of the Night. Once you beat the first 3, you get access to the 4th. Once you beat the 4th, you get access to the 5th. You know what? This is actually a pretty solid setup for me to try to go through the 1st or 2nd Pantheon. They're pretty doable for me. I'm fairly consistently able to defeat them without any bindings. So bindings, I'll go through right now. Nail reduces your damage to 80%. Charms and stuff will still work. Shell reduces your masks to a maximum of 4.
Ooh.
Yeah. Charms reduces your... removes all your charms, rather. Just straight up removes them all. Soul reduces you to a singular spell worth of soul as your maximum amount.
Ooh.
You can complete with all bindings. I've seen it done at once. There's a special achievement for that effectively in here. Once you get 8 total bindings among all Pantheons, there's a breakable wall as you go through the pantheons at your rest points, which will give you lifeblood. The amount of lifeblood increases for each 4 beyond the first. So you get, at 8 bindings, you get 2 lifeblood masks, and every additional 4 bindings gets you another lifeblood mask. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you can get a total of 4 lifeblood masks if you complete.
Yes, because there's 4 bindings per challenge,
Yeah.
and that would make 16.
Yeah, and I don't know if on Pantheon of Hollow Nest it's possible to do 4 more bindings. I've never even seen it in person. I've seen people play through it, and it's brutal. It's literally every single boss you've ever encountered, including variants on the Mantis Lords, which is Sisters of Battle. Great fight, really fun. And a variant on Nosk, which is kind of disappointing. The variant of Nosk is, I would say, more of a souped-up Vengefly King, this guy right here, than it is a souped-up Nosk. This time there. Still got a hit in with the Dream Shield. Yeah, so this guy here, who is, as you can see, kind of jokish.
Well, no matter what, he's still just a Vengefly.
Yeah, Vengefly King here is a jokish boss, and Nosk is kind of threatening, but Winged Nosk is pretty much Vengefly King with some Nosk-like abilities. It throws the snot globs and otherwise kind of behaves more like Vengefly King in its attack patterns. Like it does the swoopiness. This Ruz mother here is why is it even a boss? I don't know.
To get your soul back up?
Yeah, I guess so. But I screwed up enough times to end up losing some soul to it, but whatever. It's fine. Like, there's a couple of bosses in here that give you some amount of a challenge.
Oh, hey, False Knight.
False Knight is not one of them. Mistakes were made there, but that's fine. I'll still just walk over here.
You're really not.
Really not what?
He's like,
Oh.
I'm the strongest now. When you dream nailed him, I'm like,
Yeah.
no. I'm still real impressed by his bug buddy on the stick.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, eh?
Like, if anything, that might be the toughest creature in all of Hollow Nest.
It doesn't seem to be destroyed by anything. Not even tantrums from this guy. This is neat end zoning. I'm not equipped exactly right to make this boss hilariously easy. You can stand there and attack if you have Quick Slash and Grubfly's Elegy. You can literally just stand there and attack, and the fight will end. Stand right there, keep swinging, and this creature will die.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised that one of these things is a boss at all.
Yeah, it's actually like 4 or 5 of them in a suit.
So you're saying it's 5 kobolds in a people suit?
Effectively, in a bush costume, yeah.
Now there's a D&D idea.
Yeah, let's see how many of them there are. 4. And they run off. You can't harm them or anything. You can't even dream nail them. A little bit sad. A hornet? No, yeah, just regular old vanilla hornet.
With more hit points?
Yeah, I think she has considerably more hit points, but that's it. Like, she's still vanilla hornet. Like, she's got nothing extra going for her.
I really love her throw with a
So,
thread.
Did you see her dream nail dialogue there?
Do they watch us struggle?
Yeah, so she is fully aware of what's going on here. There's a neat take on that dialogue. Because her Dreamnail dialogue, and I think you can get it outside of Godhome through some weird trickery. I think hacking mostly. Her Dreamnail dialogue is different from what it is here in Godhome.
Do you haunt my dreams or I yours?
Yeah, right? Yeah, Vanilla Hornet is when you have all your charms and max upgraded nail. Even with extra hit points, she's really jokish.
And then a sweet little time to chill out in a hot tub.
Yeah, and the bench, it's worth noting there, is not actually a save point. It's just somewhere to reconfigure your charms moving forward.
And get a full heal.
Yeah. If you think you would prefer different charms moving forward, you can have them. Exactly, but the hot tub also automatically fills your masks, so the bench is pretty much strictly there for purposes of...
Oh, that voice. I remember Gorb.
Yeah, Gorb's silly. So the way to fight Gorb, and everyone who's played the game through will tell you, is just to hit him with your nail until he's shooting 3 at a time, and then to basically Abyssal Shriek him into the ceiling after that. Good old Doug Defender. Jen is really bothered by his crotch buzz.
I'd be more bothered by the fact it's a dung beetle throwing balls of shit at you.
Yeah. He's at half now. That's his indicator of being at half. He's a boss that I have seldom had any struggle with. I think the very first time I fought him, I could have Dreamnailed him there. Probably should have. But no, can't. No. Whatever. I'm not 100% sold.
I am also, kind of disturbed by his crotch fuzz.
Yeah, and then alright, this guy, who gives me way more trouble than he should. Like, I know he's basically just the same as one of the Mantis Lords, with, like, a different projectile attack, and literally just one by himself. But he has given me trouble historically, that...
I mean, it's a homing projectile and teleport, which is just irritating. Teleporting bosses are the worst.
Yeah, and he's got like 3 moves.
Also,
Good.
you don't even get the joy of what you usually do with homing projectile bosses, which is make them hit themselves in the face.
Yeah, that's true. This game does not let you do that. There. It didn't cause me any trouble that time on a hit list, but it was like historically just been a nuisance for me. This guy, this guy. Also,
well, that's
historically
just
been a
disgusting
nuisance for me.
I don't even want to know what insect it's based off of.
I don't know that it is.
Oh, I've seen something like it.
Bombardier beetle, maybe?
Maybe. All I know is it's super gross and I don't like it.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's gotta be almost dead. It causes me more trouble than it's worth, and I know it probably shouldn't. Like, it's one of those bosses I should practice. Interestingly, that particular boss, his escalation in difficulty in the Hall of Gods, which I didn't go to, I will after this, his escalation in difficulty I find easier because they remove the platform from the room. And the platform, in my opinion, just makes that boss more of a nuisance. This guy is, by himself, not much effort. Once his brother arrives, I find things become a little bit of a challenge.
Oh, are you fighting all 3 Nail Masters?
Just 2. The third you fight by himself. At the end of the Pantheon of the Artist, which is next.
Is that the one who became an artist?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I might fail here. Hopefully not. Ooh, shit. So they do that, which is surprisingly a decent time to heal a lot of the time if you're in a good position to. Oh. Okay, one down, one to go.
I believe in you.
I believe in me too. Oh shit. Oh no. I thought I was timing that right. Anyway, that is Pantheon of the... What is this one? Master.
Master.
Okay. Pantheon of the Artist, which I find easier personally, even though I can beat both. And Pantheon of the Sage is the third one, which I've also beaten. Let's go down here. Hall of Gods. So Hall of Gods is basically just a place to show you all the bosses you've ever fought in the game. I'm just gonna rocket boots past and then walk back to the ones that I haven't fought. What? What is that? I don't remember what that is. Man.
So if you've defeated them, you can challenge them again through this thing.
Right, exactly. Wow. There's a weapon in hand within the Colosseum.
So that's something in the Colosseum.
Weapon in hand within the Colosseum. That you know what? That must be. Maybe I didn't go to the Colosseum of Fools and fight God Tamer, but I thought for sure.
What's the one at the end?
I served my queen inside her dreams. What? That would make that Hive Knight, I'm pretty sure, but I fought Hive Knight. I went and got Hive Blood.
Well, wait. Have you ever tried to go into the dreams of Mother?
No. And you can't. And I've got that in another thing. So this should be God Tamer, which is fine. No big deal. I can go fight God Tamer. This, I think, is Hive Knight, but I don't understand why it's not there. Maybe I'm wrong. That would be Grim at the very end there. So I'm gonna be missing some here. I know I am, because I didn't fight all the Dream Warriors. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't fight Markoth. Did I fight? I did fight White Defender. Let's see. Who have I missed? I Lie Dreaming, Edge of the World. That's Markoth. Okay. I think I got the rest of the Dream Warriors. Yeah, I did. And because I've encountered the brothers, Oro and Meto, I can fight them there. Shio will be here. Nail Stage Sly will be here. This will be the Pure Vessel, which is basically the Hollow Knight tuned up all the way.
That's Grim.
Right, and Nightmare King Grim, if you switch it to Dream Nail version. So the Pure Vessel is to Hollow Knight what Nightmare King Grim is to Grim. Which, you didn't watch the Nightmare King Grim fight.
I did not.
Why not? I will show you Grim on hard mode. This is Nightmare King Grim. He is a really good boss fight.
He's a dramatic little bitch.
Yeah. Oh, missed that down slash. I'll stay exactly where you are. Don't move. Get away from that nonsense. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4. I was a little too close on that. I didn't move quite fast enough. Yeah, that's Nightmare King Grim. In a nutshell.
Did he just kill you?
Oh yeah. Just murdered me. He hits for 2 masks, for one thing.
Fair enough.
All of his attacks are hard to dodge compared to Vanilla Grim. But again. I keep missing that poke. I overjump. 1, 2, 4. What? I must have touched his hitbox. I hate that attack so much. Because not only can that attack hit you, but he can hit you twice in it. Not heal because I don't have a soul for it. So. The down slash one, I find to not be too much of a problem. Ah. Yeah, he's a nuisance.
I serve my queen inside her dreams is Grey Prince Zote.
Oh. Oh, that's who that is. It's not Hive Knight at all. That makes sense. Oh, there's Hive Knight. Okay. So I need to go to the Coliseum of Fools to get two of these guys. So Grey Prince Zote is a hilarious boss fight. It's hard. It's up there with Nightmare King Grim for hard. Not quite as, in my opinion. Having fought both and been able to beat both, I more consistently can beat Grey Prince Zote. Grey Prince Zote, though, is like the weirdest boss fight because he basically falls all over himself kicking your ass.
Grey Prince Zote is a hidden boss in Hollow Knight. It is the overpowered dream variant of Zote the Mighty, fueled by Bretta's delusions of him.
Yep. She pretty much turned him into a god.
A clumsy god who walks around with a ridiculous giant wooden sword.
Yes. He beats the hell out of you whilst falling all over the place. I quite like Grey Prince Zote as a boss fight because the comedy value is there. And
so the queen is Bretta.
Right. In this case, not the Pale Lady or the
not the actual queens in this goddamn game.
Yeah. And it's funny because if you don't save Zote, Bretta's basically your girlfriend. But if you do save Zote, then she falls for his bullshit and loves Zote.
Well, he is a mighty warrior.
Yeah. So...
You're a strong silent type that never talks.
Right. Exactly. So Zote practically has his vessel costume on, but he's not a vessel. He's just a regular old bug from best we can tell. That happens to look enough like one of the vessels to pass as one.
So he's a cosplayer, is what you're saying?
Yes. And like the worst kind.
He's a Deadpool cosplayer, is what you're saying?
Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
There are some great Deadpool cosplayers out there. I do not mean to malign them.
No, but he's like one of the really obnoxious Deadpool cosplayers who does not get the clue of when to back off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And any costume can have that style of cosplayer wearing it, but
the Deadpool cosplay does seem to attract it.
Yes.
I don't
just
think I've
like
ever
Deadpool.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen
it.
a really awful Gwenpool cosplayer. Like, it could easily be done, but
it's true, but at the same time, I also don't find there to be a ton of awful female cosplayers in that way.
Yeah.
Girl awful is different from boy awful.
It's true. Like, it can overlap, but the frequency is much lower.
Yes. And there are different characters to cosplay if you want the lol random I'm so edgy.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn is a good example, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, most of the Harley Quinn cosplayers I've seen at cons have been pretty chill, but every once in a while you've got one that just does not know how to keep their hammer down.
Yeah.
Just can you put that hammer somewhere where it's not going to hit me in the face when I walk by? Please?
Or the Catwoman cosplayers with the whip.
That, you know what? That is not something I've encountered very often.
That was more of a fan expo thing.
Yeah.
And it's usually the ones who are cosplaying Halle Berry's Catwoman.
The Catwoman, which gets the most hate.
Yes.
The movie.
You don't see many people doing the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman that much anymore.
No, nor the Eartha Kitt.
I actually see the Eartha Kitt more than I see the Michelle Pfeiffer.
And with good reason.
I mean, she was perfect, darling.
Yeah. The Adam West era had... was it 3 different Catwomen?
Julie Newmar, Eartha Kitt, and I want to say somebody named Mayweather?
Don't know. But I know that there was, different levels of awesome to them. None of them were bad, but some of them were better.
I mean, Julie Newmar was fantastic.
Yeah. Is this going the right way? I'm not. I'm going to where there was a grub at one point. And I'm getting just ravaged by aspids. They really are the worst, I'm headed to Markoth, who is, I think, just over here. No, not here. But he's in this area.
Julie Newmar, Lee Merriweather, and Eartha Kitt.
There he is. Markoth is 3.
I don't have to turn in my diva badge.
There you go. You know you ladies.
And then in more modern interpretations, live action, there's Michelle Pfeiffer. Adrienne Barbeau was the voice of Catwoman in Batman the Animated Series. Halle Berry and Anne Hathaway did more recent movies. And Cameron Bicondova, when were you Catwoman? Oh, on Gotham.
Okay. That's something I never got into as much as I would have liked. I tried to.
I feel you. I kind of failed to see the point in a police procedural in Gotham before there's a Batman. I mean, ACAB,
Yeah. There we go. We got Markoth taken out.
I am occasionally willing to admit that if there is a cop that's not a bastard, it may be Jim Gordon, but it's only certain interpretations of Jim Gordon.
Yeah, for sure. There's certain interpretations of Jim Gordon that are certainly not great people.
But the one who's a great father, a good man, and who works tirelessly to root out police corruption at the cost of his own career in many cases.
Yeah.
That guy's a good guy.
And Babs, likewise in some interpretations is okay.
Oh, Barbara Gordon is usually fantastic.
Yeah, but there's some where some cringe shit happens that she's involved in.
And then I guess maybe Detective Dick Grayson is also okay.
No, he's a bastard. Every interpretation of Dick Grayson I've ever seen, by the time
Nightwing is awesome.
Yes, but he's not a good person. He's a entertaining hero, but by the time he reaches that phase of his life, he's always up to some sketchy shit.
Well, I mean, he is also an international spy, and
the level of police brutality he gets up to.
Well, I mean, he was trained by Batman,
right? And seldom a gentle version of Batman gets you to that place, right? It's always the more brutal interpretation of Batman that gets you to the place where Nightwing can exist.
Well, yes, because Nightwing exists because Bruce doesn't want to see Dick grow up.
Right.
Or gain agency.
Yeah. Much yike. I'll get there. I'm making my way up to the Coliseum of Fools to end this video. I figure I'll do the Coliseum of Fools in a future video where I'll actually rescue Zote and I'll do the...
Then defeat his dream version?
Yeah. The dream version is pretty hilarious, but I'm not going to be able to show you in this video. It's going to take too much time. I mean, I did go beat Radiance already.
I mean, as far as boss fights go, that is a pretty big one to have taken care of.
Yeah, Radiance is pretty good. I have not yet faced off with Absolute Radiance, which is just that, you know, dialed up 50% on attack frequency and given, I think, about 20% more hit points. Yeah, Absolute Radiance is, from what I can tell, the hardest boss in the game.
Maybe. Only one way to really know, and that's to defeat every boss in the game.
Right? Which you have to do to even get to Absolute Radiance. So if Absolute Radiance wasn't the hardest boss in the game to start with, the fact that you have to go through every other boss in the game to get there, certainly... No, I've gone too far.
What's that big boy?
Fine. That's a friendly NPC you can chat with.
Oh, you just needed to tell me that. I don't need to know more.
Bardoon. So Bardoon stretches, I think, across 3 sections of this map.
So he's a big boy.
Big boy. Like, you can drop down at least 1 section and find his tail. It might be 2 more before you find it. You can see bits of him.
Yeah.
In the background.
Now that I know what to look for, yes, I do in fact see.
Yeah.
His big old booty.
Yeah. Bardoon just goes on and on. There. I finally really recovered from that fight with Markoth. I did not leave myself in good shape walking out of that fight. That's okay. I haven't died as a result.
Is that why you picked up the God Blood? Just so that you would have those 3 extra hit boxes?
Yes, that lifeblood was 100% picked up because Markoth left me hurting. And that's probably the hardest dream boss. A lot of people, or a dream warrior rather. A lot of people struggle with Markoth. I did not do Markoth in a way that is recommended. Like I really just threw my face at him until he was in phase 2, and then after he hit phase 2, I threw spells at him until he died.
So he seemed to have the same shield as you.
Yeah, he was a Moth tribe dream warrior, so the dream shield and dream nails that he uses are very much artifacts of that tribe.
Ah.
Markoth's a pretty cool guy. It's a pretty interesting story. If you,
I mean, he's not a pretty cool guy. He did just try to kill you a whole bunch.
Well, you know, in exchange for all his hopes and dreams.
What was that?
One of those. It was one of those screechy death burbs. I got too close to it, and I think my dream shield set it off.
Yeah, for something called a shield, it doesn't always save you.
No. Often enough, it's more of a weapon than a shield for me. That's kind of why I cart around with it. Yeah, so I haven't done the final thing of the Colosseum. But I probably do have time for those to do the first one over again. I haven't looked at the time, but the first one's pretty fast, and I'm geared up to brawl my way through it.
No, let's take a look.
Don't think I've ever died in it.
We have 5 minutes left on SharePlay.
Okay. Which is interesting, because it hasn't warned.
Well, 5.5 minutes.
Okay. Should be.
It will tell us at 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Oh, just... You know what? Both of you just stop. There. They're great if you need soul, because you can just keep dream nailing them. They're relatively easy to time. Yeah, there's a 5-minute warning. That's fine. I'm pretty sure I can get through this all in 5 minutes. Cool. Wish I had Quick Slash on, but I didn't think about that. A lot of these fights are much easier with Quick Slash than without it. Just, you can bounce enemies off of walls. We'll get there. Like I say, I'm pretty well set up to take care of this even without it. I don't remember this fight like the back of my hand, like I do the final one, because I don't generally.
You've only
fail.
done this one once?
Once per playthrough. As
Yeah.
opposed to the final one, which often I've had to do multiple times per playthrough to get it.
Yeah, the one where you've had to face block it so many times that you've learned a lot of it because...
Because you sort of have to, or you die. Right. I knew what was happening before it happened. I'm like, wait, this is where you end up with these guys. So normally I don't want to be where they spawn, but these fellas, I find if you're not basically where they spawn, then you're giving them the advantage because they have that ranged attack that they're just going to keep firing at you. It's here. All right. Aspids. That was poor timing. These little guys are funny. You can just shoot. No, I thought I had another level down. I didn't. The arena was not the size I thought it was. You can get them to just roll to their death. My point there.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
Oh, hey! Hi again, Vengefly boss. But way weaker.
Yeah, exactly. The version in Godhome is basically tuned to your nail strength. The more nail strength you have, the more hit points it'll have. Which nail art you use against which enemy will vary, I find. The best nail art to use against like the guys with the shields is different from the best nail art to use against the ones without shields.
And now, no jumping.
Yeah, you can still jump, but it's really limited. Like you have to jump clear of them. You can't just hop up and let them go under you. Enemies that blow up are funny in places like this because often enough they'll blow each other up. But it didn't happen that time. We're almost through this. I think we've got this, and then after this it's Zote. And Zote's just a joke of a fight anyway. They really set him up to be like he's gonna be hard. Then like basically just kick around the arena a bit. And the fight's over.
Okay. Okay, Zote. Back the fuck up.
And that is Zote. Now he's saved, and next video I can go fight Great Prince Zote.
Who will actually be a challenge.
Yeah. As he flops his way around the arena. It's also pretty funny. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. We'll catch you next time.
See you all later.